The desert stretched endlessly before me, the sun blazing high in the sky, casting a harsh, unforgiving light across the dunes. I had always been drawn to the mysteries of the desert, its vastness and isolation calling to something deep within me. But on this day, as I wandered further into its depths, I would come face to face with a terror beyond my imagination. My curiosity had led me here, armed with a backpack of supplies and a sense of adventure. I walked for hours, the heat seeping into my bones, and the shifting sands creating an eerie symphony with each step I took. As the sun began to dip towards the horizon, I realized I needed to find shelter for the night. I spotted a rocky outcrop in the distance and made my way towards it, hoping it would offer some respite from the relentless sun. As the darkness descended, I set up a small campfire and gazed up at the stars, their brilliance magnified by the absence of city lights. The desert had always been a place of solitude and reflection for me, a stark contrast to the chaos of modern life. But as the flames danced and cast flickering shadows across the rocks, I felt an unsettling presence, a sensation of being watched from the shadows. I dismissed it as a product of my imagination, chalking it up to the eerie nature of the desert at night. I huddled closer to the fire, trying to shake off the unease that had settled over me like a shroud. But the feeling persisted, intensifying with each passing moment. And then, as if materializing from the very darkness itself, a figure stood before me. My heart leaped into my throat as I scrambled to my feet, the firelight casting eerie shadows across the stranger's features. He was tall and imposing, dressed in flowing robes that seemed to blend seamlessly with the night. "Who are you?" I managed to stammer, my voice trembling. The stranger's eyes bore into mine, their depths filled with an otherworldly intensity. "I am a traveler of the desert, a seeker of souls lost in its vastness." His voice was hypnotic, each word resonating with a power that I couldn't comprehend. Fear surged through me, but I couldn't tear my gaze away from him. He exuded an aura of ancient wisdom and unfathomable danger. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice barely audible. The stranger's lips curved into a chilling smile. "I offer you a choice, a chance to see the hidden truths of the desert, to gain knowledge beyond your wildest dreams." His words held a promise that was both tantalizing and terrifying. I was torn between curiosity and an instinctual need to flee. My rational mind screamed at me to run, to escape from this enigmatic figure who seemed to defy the laws of reality. But as if sensing my thoughts, the stranger extended his hand towards me. "Come, embrace the mysteries that lie within the sands." My heart raced as I considered his offer. The allure of uncovering the secrets of the desert, of tapping into the ancient wisdom he promised, was almost overwhelming. Yet a nagging voice within me warned of the dangers that could accompany such a choice. I stepped back, my voice shaking. I can't." The stranger's smile faded, replaced by an expression that was both disappointed and amused. "Very well. But remember, the desert is a realm of both beauty and peril. Your choice will shape your fate." With those words, the stranger faded back into the darkness, leaving me alone with my thoughts and the crackling fire. The night seemed to stretch on endlessly, each moment pregnant with an unexplainable tension. As the moon reached its zenith, a haunting wind swept through the dunes, carrying with it a whisper that was almost imperceptible. My pulse quickened, a feeling of dread settling over me like a heavy cloak. The desert, once a place of solace and contemplation, had transformed into a realm of uncertainty and danger. I knew I had to do something, to protect myself from whatever malevolent force might be lurking in the shadows. Desperation fueled my actions as I reached into my backpack and retrieved a small book, a book containing verses from the Quran, the holy scripture of Islam. My hands trembled as I held the book close to my chest, the weight of its sacred words providing a sense of comfort and strength. I closed my eyes and began to recite the verses I had memorized, speaking the Islamic prayers that had been passed down through generations. The words flowed from my lips like a lifeline, a barrier against the unknown forces that seemed to encroach upon me. A sudden gust of wind swept through the camp, extinguishing the flames and plunging me into darkness. I clutched the book tighter, my heart pounding in my chest. The desert had turned against me, a hostile and unforgiving entity that sought to consume me. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the wind ceased, and a profound silence settled over the desert. I opened my eyes cautiously, my heart still racing. The stranger was nowhere to be seen, and a sense of relief washed over me. I remained huddled in the darkness, the book of prayers cradled in my hands. The night stretched on, the hours passing with excruciating slowness. As the first rays of dawn illuminated the horizon, I knew I had made the right choice, the choice to protect myself with the power of faith. I packed up my campsite and began my journey back towards civilization, the desert now a place of caution and wariness. The encounter with the stranger had opened my eyes to the reality that the ancient legends of the desert held a kernel of truth. As I walked, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had narrowly escaped a fate far worse than I could have imagined. The power of the Islamic prayers had saved me, shielding me from a force beyond comprehension. The desert's secrets were not meant for mortal eyes, and I was grateful to have escaped its grasp with my life intact.